All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making up plays. You talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Yeah.
And we are here. It is week number 7 in the NFL here. Welcome to the Touchdown Crew. Got Mike over there, the most handsomest man in the Touchdown Crew, followed by some youth I've decided to bring in today. My son, Stefan, 8 years old. He's wearing his daddy's jerseys, but that's okay because he's basically told us that he is a Bronco fan. So he is getting his first Bronco jersey coming up. I've yet to tell him how bad the Broncos stink, but I'm going to save that for later. They're about on the level of the Patriots, but anyway, one person who's very happy in this the room right now, of course, is Mike. His Eagles are at the top again, even though they did suffer a loss, but that's okay because it's only one loss. So it was very close too. But well, welcome you. The studio line's open, 813-699-5353. We're going to go over week 6, along with going ahead and going and picking up everything for week 7. John Monroe is in there, of course, telling us, go Cowboys. And I don't know what this is all about. He's yelling Jets for some reason.
Yeah, I don't understand. It's okay.
John,
I think they're better than the Cardinals, though.
Yeah. So he's yelling out Jets for some reason. I don't know. I guess the Jets are playing somebody that he actually does care about or something like that. Who are they playing?
Nah, they beat the Eagles last week.
Yeah, they're off this week. So
they beat the Eagles last week.
Oh, that's what he's calling. Of course, he has to go ahead and rub it in. He said he was going to call and give some hell. So we'll see what he has to go through. Injury bug is playing a lot of the teams right now. Anthony Richardson, of course, for the Indianapolis Colts, he on IR. So Gardner Minshew has a chance to go ahead and actually be the starter over there in Indianapolis. And listen, Anthony Richardson is one of those players that goes ahead and runs the ball a lot. He's got some accuracy. He's got a nice arm. But I don't know. Gardner seems like he's the field manager going into the Colts there. And I'm just thinking here for now, until they can figure out, how severely Anthony Richardson is down. I think Indianapolis going against Cleveland and at 3-3, they're still in the hunt. I think, having a steady hand back there like Gardner Minshew, I think that's going to help them a little bit there. What do you think there, Mike? You agree with that or do you disagree?
No, I mean, I'm not a Gardner fan. I think he's a roller coaster ride, especially when he was with us. But he's productive when he's not behind. I mean, that's almost anybody. But I think he can hold the fort down for a couple of weeks and make them at least 500 while he's there.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think he can. The Browns are a dangerous defense, so I think he's going to have a lot of trouble this week against Cleveland. But going forward, I think Gardner is he could definitely handle the game. Just the thing with a backup quarterback is don't turn the ball over. Just protect the ball. Go ahead and go use the ground game. Jonathan Taylor is back. You got Zach Moss, who's been killing it. So you got 2 really good running backs to kind of lean your hat on or put your hat on. And right there, I think that's going to be the key for Indianapolis, especially if they have any chance this week against Cleveland. Indianapolis is going to have to show they can run the ball and not turn the ball over. That's going to be the key. It's basically them taking on the Browns. And also Deshaun Watson is coming back. But on taking a look at Cleveland's side, do you really think Deshaun Watson coming back? Take a look. You had a backup quarterback beat the San Francisco 49ers. A backup quarterback. So is Deshaun Watson coming back really that big of a deal?
I mean, I think that I think their defense really was successful in that game, not necessarily the quarterback. But like you said, don't turn it over, don't lose us the game. And I think that's what he did. I mean, but I think that was a defensive game. Same thing we saying with Minshew, don't lose the game. We can stay in the game if you don't lose the game. I think that's what Cleveland's quarterback did last week.
What do you think, Steph? Do you think if you don't turn the ball over, you give you a chance the best shot of winning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, even he agrees. An 8-year-old just learning football, he agrees that too. If you don't turn the ball over, you can win the game. Just like the Broncos. If they don't turn the ball over, they got a good running game, they can win the game, right? Exactly. He's shy. He was over here all talking right before the show, but he's shy. John making his picks over here anyway. So that's where the game's going on. Indianapolis and Cleveland. That is happening at 1 o'clock. Let's go ahead and get to this little buggers game here at 4:25 here. We have the Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. Green Bay 2-3. They really haven't shown who they're about. Jordan Love is iffy at best. Denver has been a real bust so far. Sean Payton coming in there, I don't think anything is working for him. But at the same time, you got to look at Sean Payton's history. You got to get him a chance to go ahead and actually make sure that his game plan gets there and sinks in. He's still just 6 weeks in, so we'll see how it goes. John, you're on the phone. Go ahead, man. He said, "Good morning." Good morning.
Good morning.
He's asking, is they going to win today?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's confident. He's confident.
Thank you. Okay.
All right. John coming in, going ahead and showing some support to the little guy, man. All right. 813-699-5353. So Broncos going in. Stefan, they're not looking so good. They lost last week they lost to a good team, but they played good defense, but they couldn't score any points. They were behind the whole time. Do you think they're playing at home against a tough Green Bay team? Do you think they have a chance to win the game today?
Yeah.
What do you think they need to do to win the game?
To score a touchdown.
To score touchdowns, right? Yeah, and that's something they don't do very often, do they?
No.
No, you're very disappointed when you watch them. It's like, you need to score touchdowns, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I got my new co-host here. I don't need any. But yeah. So let's talk about that. That's a 4:25 game. That's later in the afternoon. Green Bay going into Denver to take on the Denver Broncos. Again, Sean Payton's scheme, apparently, I don't know what's going on. It just hasn't clicked yet. Either that or Russell Wilson basically is just not fit for the job. I mean, listen, you're giving up 70 points to Miami. Okay, that's just one game. We don't care about that. You're an NFL professional player. You get over that and you go and you move on. As a coach, though, Mike, when you give up 70 points, does that sting and does that linger over? Or do you have to be a professional and say, like Sean Payton, and say, listen, that's just one game. This is a whole new week, a whole new team. We don't worry about what happened last week.
Well, you never forget. That's the first thing. I mean, as a coach, you never forget. And that's two-sided because you got to think. It wasn't like I've been on sides where the offense is continuously putting up points. Like, what are you doing? But the way they lost that game, it was like, what can we do? Interception, pick six, fumble, score. Like, our offense probably only scored 28 points. With Sean Payton, you got to give him a year to click. You got to give him a year to put his stamp on it. You got to give him time to change the mindset. You got to give him time to get off season to get the players he wants in there, draft picks that he wants in there. Like when he was in New Orleans, it wasn't no 1 year turn. It wasn't no first year he got there and it was that. You got to give any coach time to get in there and put his stamp and get his mindset onto the players that's in there. So they're still learning him. They're still trying to figure out where they're headed. And sitting back looking, I think he's trying to figure out if Russell Westbrook is the answer. Like, Because right
Russell
now,
Wilson, right now, Russell Westbrook.
Russell Wilson, yeah, it might as well be Westbrook. You know, if he is the guy, you know. But
What
I
do you
mean,
think?
on that 70-point loss, it wasn't all Russell. It wasn't all Russell.
We saw his debacle last year, where nothing was going his way. But now we see him this year with a new head coach and a new scheme. Are we still going to give him the full? I mean, do we still give him the full year, or is there a possibility that maybe if things get too bad, we start seeing some changes?
I think Sean gonna give him. I think Sean gonna give him the full year and evaluate what he thinks, where it's going, and this can be some on the field, off the field type evaluation as well. What kind of chemistry do you have with your teammates? When are y'all putting in extra work as a unit, not just you putting in extra work? It's awesome when I see my running back or somebody else doing extra work, but are you catching balls from your quarterback? Are you working with your old line for snaps? Are you working with them to see how windows open up? So it's other little things. Are you working extra to bring the units together as one?
So you basically are seeing what the type of leadership he's doing for the team, and that could go ahead and mold him to what they need him to be going forward.
Correct.
And,
right now his name is not great in the communities. Like his name is not excellent. He got a lot of right now. He's getting a lot of bad report outside of whatever he's doing with his wife. Other than that, everything is negative. So it's like, and you don't. Not saying you're supposed to come to the defense of it, but it's like, man, if he's saying it, and then that person's saying it, and that person, and you don't have a. Like I said, you're not supposed to have a defense to it, but it's like the same outcome is happening. The same outcome is happening. Like, is it true?
But when you go ahead and have all these reports against you and you don't say anything back, it's kind of like, well, he's not defending. He's not coming to his aid. It's like, it must be true. Or,
that's what you think.
Yeah. So I get
like
it.
the only time we hear you with a statement is when it's pertaining to your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. And also, talking about making a move, Russell Wilson's been in this league a long time. If you make a move, this is like one of those moves, and I think Sean Payton knows this. This is one of those moves. If you make it, there's no going back. There's no like, listen, we're going to go ahead and take you out of the game. We're going to put it back up again, kind of like what New England's been doing the past couple of weeks. And but Russell Wilson's been a proven man. You go ahead and substitute him. That's it. There's no going to be. You lost this team.
But here's the question. Watch how it play out. Okay, you got some fans in Denver say you take him out, you're tanking, right?
Yeah.
Sean Payton can leave him in and can be considering himself tanking.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So the question really is Sean Payton is one of these quarterbacks coming out, because it's a nice class of quarterbacks coming out. Are you trying to get one of them?
You have to be top 5, I think, if you're going to get them, because you're talking about right now the top 3 that are going right now. Actually, there's 2 of them going to the Bears. I don't think the Bears are going after a quarterback. I don't think. I mean,
they need so much more than a quarterback.
Oh, well, yeah. I think they need a lot more than a quarterback. I think they're going to trade one of those picks. If they go ahead and get number 1 and number 2 this year, you trade one of them for some experience at the line or something.
Yeah, somewhere. Correct.
Somewhere.
And
well, I don't think they're going to quarterback. Number 3 right now is New England. New England, I'm sure, is probably going to be looking at the quarterback position. I mean, there's already rumblings that the whole team is against Mac Jones now, and. So I think if you're going to go after any of these quarterbacks, you got to be in at least the top 10. And I think right now, Denver's in the top 10. I think they're number 4 or 5.
Yeah,
now. Yeah, they're number 4 or 5.
And you, like I said, you can leave him in, and everybody think you're not. And in your head, we lose in the eyesight of the community in the world. Like, we not tanking, but I know we are, because we ain't trying to get better.
Yeah. What teams do you think
the backup?
What teams do you think are tanking right now? The ones that are doing really bad. I mean, you got Arizona, Denver, Patriots, Chicago. Are any of these teams like really tanking? Giants at 1-5. All these teams are 1-5 right now.
I don't think they're tanking yet. I wouldn't say. I think they're just faced that adversity. That teams are just better than you. It's like I don't think Denver's tanking. I just think Denver's not playing to where we can see them at the capability of. Like I don't think what Russell keeps saying Westbrook because he might as well be playing. Wilson is just not. I don't think he's comfortable. And then when, like you said, you look back when he was in Seattle and he was comfortable, he had a defense. He had a run game.
Yeah.
And he had a nice receiving core. He had under everything.
He doesn't have a bad receiving core now, but yeah, he doesn't have the talent that he had in Seattle, but he doesn't have a bad receiving core. And you're supposed to be one of these quarterbacks that elevates this receiving core, that can go ahead and help it out, like be a Brady or a Manning.
Yeah, he'll never be that level, but he's always had decent weapons, if not good weapons around him.
Yeah.
I mean, from the run game, because that's Pete Carroll's number one thing. I got to have their run game. He's going to build a defense. When it comes to the Patriots, are they tanking? I don't think they're tanking. I just think their division has got exceptionally well. Is no doubt about it. I mean, I know we lost to them. I'm not pumping them up because of that. The Jets' defense is nice. They're quality. The defense is quality. They're carrying that team right now. Miami, don't need to speak on them.
We don't want to speak on them. Miami's already proven that what they're doing. They already know what they're doing. They're like the St. Louis Rams back in '99 and 2000.
Right. The Cardinals, outside of the 49ers, that division is just horrible. Take away the Niners, the division is not what people used to.
Rams. Look at the Rams. We thought these guys were dead in the water. They're 3-3. They're actually contending.
Yeah. And I like to look at their schedule and see how many interdivision games they played. Who have they played?
Yeah, that's true. But same thing with Miami. Talking about the game that you guys are in, Miami and Philadelphia. Miami, all they've beaten is teams that have losing records.
Yeah.
So they haven't really been proven. This is going to be a prove-it game this week. So
correct. So
you
got to look at who they played, who's played who. But I mean,
out of the 1-5 teams, out of the really bad teams that are going on right now, which is the best? Which is the best team out of the 1-5? The team that shouldn't be 1-5. What is the best team there? We're talking about Carolina 0-6, Arizona, Chicago, Denver, New England, and the Giants all at 1-5. Which out of those teams is the best one that should not be in that record right now?
That's tough.
I mean, Arizona, Josh Dobbs has shown potential, and of course they're playing. He's a second string. Carolina, they've done pretty good, moving the ball, but they just can't stop anybody. They can't really score either. Again, Denver's in shambles. The Broncos are in shambles. Patriots, they have no idea what they're doing. The Giants, they're supposed to be better than 1-5. I think if anything, number one, they're the worst team for the points, believe it or not. Besides New England, they're only scored 71 points this whole time.
That's a tough question. But you look at injuries. I think they was already behind the 8 ball when speaking with the Giants, with the Saquon Barkley money issue. I think that put a negative taste in people's mouths, and it messed up some in-house stuff, because if you're a fan and you're a player on that team, this offense doesn't move without him.
Yeah.
So and it's not just him. It's when your running back is a high quality running back, makes your offense run. Why are you not giving these players what they deserve? So when you do that,
but that's all across
you miss time. It's across the league.
That's all across the NFL.
Yeah. So I would reach at the 1-5s, and I'm looking at them. I really would say, and I think they got injuries now. I know Daniels is hurt. I want to say Saquon is hurt right now.
No, I don't think Saquon's hurt. I think he was nicked up, but I don't think he's injured. I think he's still playing.
If I look at the 1-5s, I think it's them.
You think it's the Giants that shouldn't be where they're at right now? You're talking about the team that scored the least amount of points. The Broncos, out of that whole bag of losers, has scored the most points, but they've given up the most points. If you really want to take a look at it, I think it's actually Arizona. Arizona, I think, is a lot better than what they've made it out to be. It's because their quarterback play is a lot better. They just got to step it up on defense. They're giving up a lot of points, but they've also been able to move the ball, and they've turned it over. But I think Arizona has more potential in regards to these 1-5 teams to go ahead and actually dig themselves out and have a decent season. Maybe pull even, like an 8-9 or 9-8 before the season's over. So Chicago's got that potential, but it's like they don't have the coaching to do it. Denver, I think they have the potential, but their defense is horrible. Or, if you take that 70-point game away, obviously it's not as bad, but when you give up 70, that I don't care what team it is. I don't care if it's the most high-flying team on earth. 70 points is just way too much. But I think Arizona actually, is better. John says Panthers. Panthers are 0-6. I truly believe. I don't think they should be 0-6, but I don't think they're the better of the teams of the rest that I mentioned. That's just.
I think they have just too much growing to do to be like expect more out of them right now.
Which one? The Panthers?
The Panthers, yes. I think
they're a very young team
to do. Yeah.
And on top of that, you've given away McCaffrey, you've given away more. I mean, you gave away basically your heart and soul of your team, and then you go ahead and draft a rookie quarterback. What do you got there?
Yeah.
Cuba?
You got growing pains.
Yeah, you got growing pains, exactly. 813-699-5353. All right, let's talk the Eagles. I know that's your team, buddy. The Eagles. They signed Julio Jones to go ahead and be part of the receiving corps. Just signed him a couple of days ago. All of a sudden now he's going to play. I don't know how much he's going to play, but he's going to probably be on the pitch count. But he's definitely looking to go ahead and play. Do you think he's going to make an impact to this team, or do you think I don't think he can be a negative. You know what I'm saying? I think Julio can only be a positive.
Championship. I just solidified it. Championship.
You get Julio to the Super Bowl, right?
It's a done deal. But I'm being honest, the offense honestly is not my major concern. Yes, we're still not producing like last year with these injuries, just dismantling the defense, and in the secondary majority. That's where the biggest concern is right now for me as a fan. I mean, anybody else would say yes, very much so. The defense is like, I think Darius Slay is just now coming back. I think the other three starters are Maddox, I think, comes back either this week or next week. Bradbury is out. Blankenship is out. So we're hurting. I think, like I said, I was speaking with Mike messing with Mike the other day. We just put a Bears drafted cornerback on the roster. We put two more on the practice squad cornerbacks. So we're really trying to figure out where we can help the secondary. And he got, I think, 6 more days in the trade deadline. I think it's 6, either 6 or 7. So it might be 9. I think it's the 31st on the trade.
So you guys got a lot of personnel things going on.
Correct. Trying to get some people in that secondary in.
Well, let me ask you this: as an Eagle fan, big game today, huge. You're going up against Miami, scoring the most points in the NFL. They're like the greatest show on grass, I guess, if you want to call it that. They're 5-1. They haven't really beaten anybody. But how scared are you going up against this team? This is going to be on Sunday Night Football in Philly. So you got the home field behind you. But how scared are you in this team and your defense way it is now?
I'm none at all. Like, everybody's talking 70 points. But once again,
I wouldn't think 70 points against Philly. All right, let's throw that out the door.
I'm saying they're saying so much about their offense because of that game. I'm like,
Of course, Vic, who's not here, he's going to go ahead and chime in. Not a big game.
Their offense is not just phenomenal. They're not a 70-point offense. Their defense did a lot of that game. Like I said, turnovers. I think they returned either a punt return or a kickoff return. I'm not sure which. But
you have a returning Jalen Ramsey coming back too.
Yeah, so it was major turnovers from Denver that game. I'm talking just massive turnovers and just missed tackles. And I really want Tua to hold the ball this week. I dare you to hold the ball to try to make a 40-yard pass. You better 1, 2, 3, let it go. 1, 2, 3, let it go. You try to get 5, 7-step drops, we're going to get to you.
Are we going to see Jalen maybe run the ball a little bit more? Because we haven't seen that a whole lot. I mean, he's still ran the ball a lot, but not like he was last year. So they
I don't think he needs to run it that much. I think, and my thing is run it when people not expecting it. That's
the thing is that's what they're expecting now. They're expecting him to run it.
Yeah,
he's not one of these people that are going to surprise you anymore. He's going to run it now.
I no, what I'm saying is I think you can call the run pass option or the option to give and keep. I think he's keeping it when he doesn't need to. Okay. Let Swift run. Let Bartwell run. Let them run. We're being successful at the run. Found out Lane Johnson's supposed to play, so he's supposed to come back today, even with the ankle sprain. So run the ball. You know, give them the ball. And if you just carry out a good fake, you're going to hold 1 or 2 people because they respect you with the run.
Right, exactly. So use that to your advantage.
Yes.
Damian chiming in. I hear the Eagles are trying to get Jeremy Chin, which wouldn't be a bad move. I don't know how we would help them right now when he's out for a few weeks. Talk about that, Jeremy Chin to the Eagles. What do you think about that?
I mean, I don't think if we know he's going to be out for a couple of weeks, what's the point? We already got people out. Why bring in somebody who's out? That makes no sense.
Probably when he is healthy to go ahead and improve. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. When is he to be improved? If it's the same week as somebody else coming back.
Well, if you're taking a look at moves, you have till Halloween to make a move. October 31st is the trade deadline, and so everybody, if you're going to make a move, you're going to have to do that. You're going to have to do that now. Obviously, free agents, you can go ahead and just sign anytime you want. But for any type of trades, you got another 9 days until that window closes.
Okay, he said he got a quad injury. I don't see how many weeks he's out, though.
Did he just get this quad injury, or is he?
I don't see it.
While you're doing the reading, Damian made another comment here. Frank Reich over there in Carolina, he made a mention is a joke of a head coach. Should have learned that from the Colts. Listen, I agree. I mean, what they had there with the interim head coach in Carolina last year, I think he should have been made. He should have had a chance to go ahead and say, "Hey, listen, you've gained the locker room. Why don't you go ahead and take over and see what you can do in a full year?" I think bringing in Frank Reich, I agree, Damian. I don't understand that at all. I think if I was the owner, I'd bring in somebody that's already knows the locker room and already has a chance to prove it. I like that. Damian said here it was 6 weeks he's out. That's a lot of time.
That's
6 weeks.
6 weeks. Nah, they're not gonna touch that.
Yeah,
I would touch that.
I wouldn't mess around with that. Anyway, so Eagles, Dolphins. You can't call them the fish because they're mammals. But Sunday night football on NBC tonight. They're going to take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Mike is going to be all over that game.
I do have a question for you. So I got a going little wager with some associates. They looked at the schedule. They looked at our schedule and said, "Oh, now y'all got a tough part of your schedule. You'd be lucky if you go 3-3." You tell me what you think the next 6 games look like for the Eagles.
For the Eagles, okay.
The next 6 games, including tonight. I think not counting the Dallas game.
All right, let me take a look at the schedule there. So we're looking at the Eagles schedule. Are we not counting today's game?
No, counting today.
Counting today. Okay. Let me bring team schedules. Let me get Eagles.
You got the Dolphins.
All right, let me see here. Okay, so we know what they've done already. Get out of here. I don't want cookies.
Not counting the second Cowboys.
Cookies.
McDonald's.
You stop it. Stop talking about McDonald's. You already had McDonald's.
I already had an oatmeal.
Okay, so obviously, counting this game, I think they win against Miami because they're at home.
Okay.
I think when Miami faces a tough team, they get punched in the mouth. I think that's what happens. I'd say they win against Washington. I say they lose against Dallas. They lose against Kansas City. They beat Buffalo. They lose against San Francisco.
You got 3-3. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, you're right. You got a tough schedule coming on. You're playing Dallas a couple of times there. Dallas is right after San Fran. You got Buffalo. You got Kansas City. Yeah, man. I mean, except for Washington, those are some competitive games going on right there. And even Washington could be competitive. You know, they just come through.
That's what I said. The game that really scares me is the Washington and the Dallas game more than the Chiefs and the Bills because they're divisional games, they're rivalry games.
Of course, Vic is chiming in. Dolphins win tonight, and then he gives you some love there against the Niners. Listen, I think the Niners game depends if CMC is playing and
he played
Debo.
the last game. Both of them played the playoff game.
The what?
Both of them played the playoffs game, and we should be healthy on the back end by that time.
Right. But I'm just saying, it's like for the 49er game, the 49er Eagle game, it depends if there's play. Because we all see Brock Purdy when he's missing players. You know what I'm saying? He needs to have that all-star cast around him. If he doesn't have McCaffrey or Debo, I think Eagles win that one. But if he has McCaffrey and Debo, I think they win.
And that's in Philly.
What's that?
In Philly.
Yeah, in Philly. I don't really think it matters where San Francisco plays. They're numb to any type of outside noise, honestly. Damian says Dallas shouldn't be anything to be scared of. I mean, they barely beat the Chargers. I'm not saying Dallas is somebody to be scared of, but still, you know, don't worry. It's just Dallas beating the Chargers. It's nothing big. Chargers is still a good team. He's a Charger. He's the three teams this kid likes: Seahawks, Chargers, Broncos. Broncos has been like above everything because that's all he asked for. Is the Broncos playing? That's all he ever asked for. Huh?
The colors? What is it about them?
Yeah. What is it like about the Broncos that you like? Is it because it's horses?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the Seahawks? What is it?
It makes me think of the Mustang of the cars.
He likes cars, so he thinks the Mustang. Okay, so that makes sense. That makes sense. The Seahawks, though, when you first liked the Seahawks, it was the colors and the jerseys, the funky jerseys that they were wearing, right? Yeah, he liked the funky jerseys. I like those jerseys too, but I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm not going to spend money on that. But anywho, yeah, I agree. Dallas isn't somebody to be scared of, but you should be. I'm just saying, you know, Dallas is not a team that's going to overwhelm you, but I think they can play some good football, especially in Dallas. Now, I know the game that I predicted that Dallas wins is in Philly, but still, you know, I think Dallas has got their heads on correctly. I think Dak, no matter what anybody else says, I think Dak Prescott is still a good quarterback. I think their running game is in question right now. It really is. They got good receivers, so the passing game should be no problem. And their defense, yeah, they took a hit, but they're still flowing. They're still flowing for right now. So I see Dallas. I think number one, it's a division game, so I think it's always going to be a dogfight there. I think Dallas would pull away. I think at least a split. Even if they don't win in Philly, they'll win in Dallas. I think it's a split. And that's just because it's division. But you guys can go ahead and argue with me all you want, especially Vic, who's not here. He wants to go ahead and type it in. That's fine.
He said extend the show to 10:15. He said he'd be
whatever. Whatever. I think we just need to move the time to 11 o'clock so I can broadcast from like Beef O'Brady's or something when they open. do that.
Okay. I said no.
All right. Anyway, so let's see what we got. We got some injury reports to do on. Nothing really major. I think let's go ahead and talk about this week's games. There's a few good games, at least on paper. Detroit and Baltimore. We're going to go with our picks right now. Detroit and Baltimore. This is a good matchup. Baltimore 4-2, Detroit 5-1. This is almost like a prove it game for Detroit. Detroit 5-1. You're good on record. You're good on record. Are you really going to take the horns off the bull on this one, going up against Baltimore? I say yes. I think Detroit does go into Baltimore, prove themselves. I think they come away with the victory.
I really truly like the Lions. I can see the Lions taking that division.
I think they've got a good shot already.
Yeah,
5-1, man. They're one of the top teams in the NFL. Not saying the top, but they got the same record as the Eagles.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But who do you got? You got Baltimore or do you got Detroit?
No, I got Detroit this week. I got Detroit.
All right. Let's go to Chicago. Both teams playing backups. You got a rookie going up against a veteran. In Chicago, Chicago hasn't shown any life whatsoever on offense, and I expect the same thing today. Let's go with the Las Vegas Raiders.
They got a nice soft schedule the rest of the way. I'm sorry. The Raiders and the Bears.
Raiders and the Bears. It's almost like a toilet bowl.
Yeah. In Chicago, Garoppolo's out. Devontae frustrated.
Yeah, but Chicago's in disarray, man. You got to look at that. I'll take a disgruntled Devontae and a Brian Hoyer connection over whatever the Chicago Bears are going to throw at me.
Yeah. I'll take the Raiders. That's going to be it.
Take the Raiders?
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to Indianapolis. This is a division game. Colts with Gardner Minshew up against the Cleveland Browns in their dominant defense and Deshaun Watson. Dude, I think Cleveland just continues to roll. They're going to take out Indy.
Yes, Cleveland wins.
Okay. Going into the New England Patriots home, the 1-5 dilapidated Patriots going up against the 4-2 Buffalo Bills. On paper, you should think Buffalo is just going to take this game all the way to town and just shred New England. I agree, but I'm going to go and pick New England again. I'm thinking they have to show up sometime, and they're at home. They have to show up. So yes, I'll probably lose this one, but I'm going to take New England.
Yeah, take the Bills.
Yeah. All right, here we go. And the Giants, no Daniel Jones, which may be a good thing because Daniel Jones is the most overpaid, overhyped quarterback ever. Going up against Washington. And Washington, they've shown flashes of brilliance. I mean, they got creamed that one game, but they've shown some flashes of brilliance and they've hung around. I think Washington takes this one.
Yeah, I can't think of the guy's name. He's been putting up points. The OC, I think it's on my tongue.
Yeah, remember the Giants, they have scored the least amount of points in the entire NFL.
Commanders win this one.
Yep. So let's go to Tampa, where the Falcons come into Tampa to take on the Buccaneers. Atlanta, man, it's tough to go against them, but I'm going to go against them. I'm going to take Tampa on this one.
I got the Falcons.
Hey, you can take the Falcons. That's good.
So you
all right, let's go to LA to start our 4 o'clock games, the late afternoon games. We have the Steelers going head-to-head against the Rams. The Rams back with Cooper Kupp. They still got Puka. The Steelers 3-2. I don't know which team's going to show up, to be honest with you, with Pittsburgh, but they're playing in LA. to a team to a stadium that's probably going to have more Steeler fans than Rams fans. I like the Steelers in this one.
I like the Rams in LA or Inglewood if you want to get technical. I like the Rams.
Inglewood, that's right. It's not LA. It's Inglewood. All right, let's go to Seattle where the Seahawks are at home taking on the Arizona Cardinals. This one over here just got lit up. Seattle 3-2, looking pretty good. Arizona, I think they should be better than 1-5, but they're not going to take over the Seahawks. I got Seattle winning this one.
I'm with you. Seattle wins. I think I'm taking all systems almost, huh? Oh, yeah. No.
All right, let's go to Denver where the Broncos are at home. They're going to take on the Green Bay Packers. Listen, the Broncos are, I'm sorry to say it, buddy, but the Broncos look horrible. They don't look like a good team. They don't look like a cohesive unit at all. Green Bay at least shows that they're a team. I'm going to have to take Green Bay in this one. Go Packers. You're really thinking about this one, aren't you?
I want to say the Broncos come out and put something together. I want to so bad. I think they can. I
do too, for my little one's sake. I want to see the Broncos do good.
He's the only reason I'm picking the Broncos this week. I'm gonna say the Broncos.
See that you're driving that pick, aren't you?
Yeah.
You think the Broncos are going to win today? You're going to be watching that game. I know that. All right. Last afternoon game, it is Kansas City going against the Chargers. Chargers have been looking. Chargers have they've underperformed what they were supposed to do, but they're going in Kansas City, going into the Lions' den, and I just think they're just going to get hammered. Go KC on that one.
Yeah, can't ride with you this time, little buddy. Chargers won't make this one.
Yeah. All right. I already know your pick on this one. Sunday Night Football, Philadelphia over
Kelly
Miami.
Green, baby. Wearing the old school unis.
And Julio comes in. I think he catches 100 yards, maybe. I'm telling you, man, I don't know about this one. Miami, it all depends on how they handle them.
I'm not saying 100 yards. I think he gets about 40 or 50, but he gets 2 touchdowns.
He gets 2 touchdowns on this one. Do you think Miami's going to let them go that much?
It's situational where he catch a little 15-yard post or something, and then he come back later and catch like a couple catches, and then they get something like a corner route from like the 10 or something in a red zone from the slot.
All right. You know what?
40 to 60 yards catching.
I'll go with you. I'll take the Eagles too with you. I'll go. Yeah. I was going to go with Miami, but I'll take the Eagles. Because again, the teams that they beat is not anybody to be thrilled about. Not to say that Philly has really beat anybody to be thrilled about either, but I think Miami, they've blown out teams that they're supposed to blow out. Right. We'll see how they do against a real defense that may knock you in the mouth.
And I really think they're going to try to pick on the secondary, which is going to cost them in the front against our D-line. That's what I think.
See, the thing is, you lost to the Jets. That just eats me. You lost to the Jets.
Oh, they did. The last. Give me
you know what? No, I'm taking Miami. I'm changing my pick. I'm going to take.
I want you to, but tell me this question: now that you answered, the last 25 Super Bowl champions, how many were undefeated?
Oh, none of them were undefeated. I didn't say that.
So they all lost to somebody.
Are you going to lose to the Jets? The Jets, dude. Hear me out. Jets. You lose to the Jets? Nobody that's a Super Bowl team loses to the Jets.
You got all Super Bowl teams lost to a team they shouldn't lost to. Don't look at the record. So my thing is, people saying, if anybody say Kansas City gonna say you lost to the Lions. The Lions. I don't care how good they're doing this year. It's the Lions.
Yeah, you lose to the Lions. I mean, yeah, I get it, but no, I'm taking Miami on this.
Any given Sunday, I like that pick. Let me get more wins up on people. I like that pick for you.
And finally, Monday night. Well, actually, not finally, but this week here, Monday Night Football, San Francisco going into Minnesota to take on the Vikings. Debo is going to play. McCaffrey, I don't think is still questionable, so McCaffrey may not play. But I think that's enough to go ahead and give San Francisco the tipping nod there.
The Vikings are at. Is Jefferson even still playing?
No, Jefferson's out.
Yeah, I mean that right there solidifies their loss right there.
Yeah,
is Kirk Cousins playing?
He shouldn't be, but I think he is.
Solidified the loss.
All right. Thursday
and going back to the Jets, I like Bryce Hall. Bryce is a solid. Not solid. He's a good running back. He is a good running back. He runs hard. I like that kid. So they have a good run game and a sound defense. The Jets does. So if we look at their schedule, I'm gonna bring it up for the next show. Let's look at the schedule and look at their games they're in. It ain't like they're just losing. They're not getting blown out. They're in every game every week. You talk about if we go back and look at their games, there's one or two plays here and there where it's like, oh, they should have won that one. They should have won.
It's like these mental mistakes that just keep them. They're beating themselves.
Yes. Yeah. So the Jets the record does not depict who they are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I'm defending the Jets right now.
I know, which is not like you. I don't know. You must have drank the wrong coffee this morning.
Man.
All right, Thursday night football for next week to begin week number 8. It's the Buccaneers at Buffalo. Buffalo, I think in this one here, they always perform well under the lights. You got to give it to Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo. Yes.
Okay.
They got 12 games. Buffalo got 12. Okay, yeah, Buffalo.
Damian going ahead and making his picks as we were making our picks. He was saying everything but saying, I like this one. Ravens win by 30. What?
Wow. 30?
Like what?
Their offense not even that powerful.
Yeah, I don't get that pick at all. By 30. Well, dude, you better go play Vegas.
I can live with you taking the win, but 30?
Yeah, I don't know about 30. I'll put some hard money on that one.
Man, you give me 29 point spread. I'll get that to you.
Yeah, exactly. Now, Baltimore ain't winning it by 30. I'm sorry. Detroit's too good of a team for listen, Baltimore could come up with a win, but they're not going to blow Detroit out.
Yeah.
I don't even think Baltimore. How many times has Baltimore scored 30 points this year?
Yeah.
And they're going to win by 30? No.
Their defense is solid, and they got good ball control on offense to not lose by.
I think Damon's blowing smoke out of his buttonhole right now. So, all right, we're going to close out this show there. Mike, go ahead and the last word on for this show.
Thank you, Julio Jones. You just stamped it. You stamped it. And then when we get healthy, I'm calling Vegas next week. I called a couple weeks. They didn't want to take my bet. When we get healthy, I'm putting a check on it.
You do realize the last time Julio Jones was on a Super Bowl team, right? They lost a 28-3 lead. Just saying. Saying.
Who was the quarterback?
Matt Ryan.
And that's when the Patriots owned the league.
That was when Matt Ryan was like the MVP, wasn't he? Or close to, yeah.
Not worried. He knows what it takes to get there. So that gives my receiving core a little experience. We're solid. Run game is good. O-line is one of the best in the league. Jalen had his bad week for the year. We're good. Defense gonna get healthy. Stand. It's recorded.
You got any last words there, buddy? No? All right. Well, listen, on behalf of Stefan and me, Mike over there, I want to say enjoy today's games, and we will see you next Sunday right here on the Touchdown Crew. Until then, hope the Eagles blow a 28-3 lead so Mike understands what's going on, really. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing around. We'll see you next week, everybody.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. We talking the game, get you to the days. We're high in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety topics, living the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays.